on BBS Live. Batman vs. Superman 8 years later, and it still gets talked about. Discourse still happens, so let's reflect and celebrate. DCU rumors, one involving the Batman Part 2, and another one involving Waller that, well, it's already been debunked. Box office, we have Ghostbusters Frozen Empire box office. Billionaires for these franchises, not just Ghostbusters, but also Dune. Someone called Disney woke. What? I haven't heard that one before. All that and so much more tonight on Film Junkie Live. It is kind of funny because you have BBS that came out 8 years ago, which after the reception of that caused the studio to course correct, which made things worse. And now you have the other big studio who needs a course correction because things are just not so great. You love to see it.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Junkie Live. Sorry I'm a little late. Had a little technical difficulty with the freaking camera. And it happens. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Do all that. Hit that like, thumbs up, of course. If you'd be so kind, share the stream. Also, if you'd be so kind, comment, do all that. Talk, let's chat. We got some, we're going to be talking about, of course, Batman vs. Superman 8 years, which is still, it's crazy to think that it's been 8 years since that movie came out. We're going to talk about some DCU rumors, I guess, partially. Batman, anyways. Box office, and of course, this Disney article that came out, which was kind of funny when it came to that whole thing, but hopefully you guys are doing well. Again, sorry I was late. Some reason when I turned my camera on to get everything going, the cable that connects to my computer decided to glitch out on me, and of course, it took a lot of troubleshooting and unplugging things and plugging back. Oh, it was just ridiculous because it was literally like the quality of the frame looked like shiza. So, all right, do I have this in the right spot? Nope, I don't. God damn it. See, now everything's all wonky. Hold on, let me fix that real quick. Just enjoy the music. All right. Try it now. All right, let me fix that little bubble right there. All right, we're good. Okay, where are we at here? All right, we got Eric right here. Is it weird? This is a weird point of pride, I'm sure, but I have never watched the theatrical cut of BVS. And probably never will. You didn't even see it in the movie theater? What kind of fan are you? How dare you? Hey, Dave, saw your post of you watching Top Gun Maverick. You watch that every few weeks. Just a feel-good film. I know, it definitely is, yeah. Just put it on. I put it on after I watched Roadhouse because it was just like right there. And I was like, you know what? I haven't watched Top Gun Maverick in a bit, so watching the R-rated BVS now. See, that's the thing is like anytime that I don't think anybody has to really like clarify. When I say BVS, I don't mean the theatrical. Anytime that I talk about it or I talk about watching it, it's always the ultimate cut, no matter what. That is the definitive cut, and that's the cut that I'll always be watching. What's going on, Gilmore? Crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water. Wet. Great line. Of course, great line. Snyder Bros. What's going on from Las Vegas, Travis? I have the Ultimate Edition on. Never gets old. There it is. And then, okay, echo. Okay. Let's see. We got Mr. Nobody. Happy Monday. 8 years. Can you believe it? I know. It's pretty freaking crazy. It's pretty crazy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear for Jason. Happy birthday to you. It's always your birthday today. So hopefully you're having a good birthday, sir. Ahoy, ahoy. Ahoy, ahoy, how you doing? It's crazy because the Batman vs. Superman trailer came out on my wedding day. Wow, so my wife and I were celebrating 8 years. And wow, that's pretty cool. There you go. Something right there. I like that. Let's see. And then, of course, we got Miss Lisa Jackson. Great to see you as always. Happy BVS Day. That's right. So, yeah, pretty crazy. But, yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit. I mean, you know, nothing too crazy. I mean, Zack obviously posted something that was actually pretty funny right there today on Vero. So we'll talk about that and just, you know, talk about our favorite stuff. I'll talk about my favorite scene, which I think it's pretty much a lot of people's favorite scene when it comes to the movie. I mean, obviously, you know, it's just crazy to think, like, when I was like, wow, it has been 8 years, 2016, and just, yeah, reflecting on that. We already reflected on, you know, 3 years of Zack Snyder Justice League. I forget, like, March is that year of, hey, Zack Snyder Justice League and BVS, and just how crucial those two movies are when it comes to cinema. What's going on, Axel? What's going on, Darren? Good to see you guys. Said, I remember watching your videos back when they were filming it. Yeah, no, I was covering everything, and that's one of the things I want to reflect on. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean, but just to start off the show tonight is because, you know, someone was mentioning about my post when it came to watching Top Gun Maverick. I mean, of course, that's a phenomenal movie, but there's a movie that I watched over the weekend that doesn't get as much love, and it should get way more love. And that movie is Predators. Predators came out in what, 2010? I think it was 2010, or was it, I don't know, sometime in the early 2010s. I think it was 2010 that Predators came out. But if you haven't watched Predators and you like the Predator franchise, what are you thinking? You better watch this movie, because I put it on because I hadn't seen it in forever, and I just forgot how great of an entry to the franchise this movie actually is. And it sucks because the last Predator movie that we got was kind of a shit sandwich. It was a shit sandwich, let's face it. And the AVP movies, the Alien vs. Predator movies, haven't been that great either. So when it comes to Predators, and when it comes to the first Predator movie, I love the second Predator movie, and then you got Predators. That is a good trilogy right there for the Predator franchise, because you know what makes Predators a fantastic movie is the fact that the story is intriguing before you see a fucking predator. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch it. It opens up with people just waking up, falling from the sky, being parachuted into the jungle, and it's just a bunch of random people, and then you're going like, where are they at? What's going on? Why is it these specific people? They all have unique qualities and everything like that, and then they find out they're on some other fucking planet. This is all before that you really get like a predator. And then, of course, when the predators do come in, you get predator dogs as well. The action's great. The gore is great. You get Lawrence Fishburne, who's been on the planet. He's been surviving. What's his story? It's all pretty crazy. And I think one of my only gripes was when I first saw Predators was the fact that I was like, Adrian Brody, is he like leading man, like soldier type? I don't know if I can really buy that. Which, yeah, it makes sense. Adrian Brody's kind of, you know, tall, lengthy, goofy kind of character. He did get pretty freaking ripped for the movie. But, you know, at first that was maybe a little bit of like, I don't know if I believe that. But watching it again, I don't give a shit. I actually like the fact that he's a badass and he's kind of like this string bean kind of dude right there. But, yeah, I mean, I was like, I just put it on and I was like, man, I forgot how freaking good this movie is. I forgot that Mahershala Ali was in that damn movie. What the hell? It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Predators, they were on to something there, and they should really try to, I don't know, capitalize. They should try to do something. I want to know why they were on that planet. What the hell? Who picked them? Why? You know, they just leave all this questioning, which I guess is a good thing, but I really wish there would have been a follow-up to that version. And maybe there will be. Maybe they'll realize it, because they keep on trying to do like, you know, I mean, the last one seemed like it had promise, but then it felt like it was Alien versus Predator Requiem, because it took place in a town, and it was just like, it's like I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyways, sorry. I had to go on that little spiel when it came to Predators, because I just put it on and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot just how freaking good this movie actually is, and it's a good entry into the whole thing. So, all right, let's get some tweets, huh? Let's get some tweets, and we'll talk about some tweets and everything like that. And, you know, I mean, we'll go through. And, you know, speaking of revisiting a franchise, I'm pretty excited about this. because I enjoy this franchise. Seems like Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery will return for a new Boondock Saints film. Now, apparently the original director, can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, is not going to be returning, but they're going to do a third one of these movies. They just do like one of these movies like every decade, apparently. Every 10 years, it seems like. First one was great. Second one was a great follow-up. Third one, you know, we'll see what happens when it comes to this. But I remember Boondock Saints, one of my really good friends told me about the movie. It's a small movie, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's not for everybody, but I really enjoyed the movie. But I remember watching this back in like the early 2000s or mid 2000s. Had no idea about the movie, but one of my really good friends was like, you got to watch this movie, and absolutely fell in love with that movie. And then they finally did, like I said, a sequel, and it was like, all right, cool. And then we were wondering, is there going to be yet another one? You know, it's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's got crazy action. I mean, the first one with Willem Dafoe is just absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. So Willem Dafoe, he plays like the detective that is like checking out these murders and like the stuff that's happening with the two brothers. And he has his own little way of like figuring out cases and stuff like that. So it's just pretty damn sweet. All right, what else we got here? Obviously, we had trailers that came out last week. Already talked about those. Talked about the Penguin one. We'll talk more about the Penguin when it comes to the DCU portion of all of this. But this excited me right here. That's right. Little Shooter McGavin right here decided to say like, hey guys, guess what? We're finally going to get a Happy Gilmore 2. What? Finally? But yeah, according to, here we go right here. Happy Gilmore sequel in the works. Adam Sandler is apparently working on a sequel to his 1995 hit Happy Gilmore, according to Christopher McDonald, who played Shooter McGavin. In an interview with Cleveland's 92.3 The Fan on Friday, McDonald said, I saw Adam about 2 weeks ago, and he says to me, McDonald, you're going to love this. What? He says, how about that? And he shows me the first draft of Happy Gilmore 2. What? There it is. Maybe you should cut that out of the audio. Of course, he says like that. All right. I mean, I guess it's going to go on Netflix. Do we need it? No, but I will gladly take it. I think when it came to the early Adam Sandler movies, when it came to like Billy Madison and, you know, Happy Gilmore and all those like that came out first, I mean, Happy Gilmore was definitely my favorite. So it's going to be interesting to see where this is. It just sucks because Carl Weathers, you know, well, I mean, obviously we know how his character ends up in the first one. So it's not like, but there still could have been some kind of cameo or something like that in there too. But I'm sure there'll be a nice little dedication when it comes to Carl Weathers for this one right here. But there you go. Yeah. Happy Gilmore 2. So that's cool. And I'm sure it's going to be what? Shooter McGavin trying to... I don't know. It's going to be the senior PGA Tour. I don't know. Something like that. It's going to be interesting to see. But, you know, I'm here for it. It's fine by me. Like I said, I love Happy Gilmore, so... All right, what else we got here? Scrolling through. Let's see what else. Well, Fede Alvarez, of course, who is the director for Alien Romulus, he did assure that a lot of the gore and a lot of the effects that are happening with Alien Romulus is practical. He says, I have this obsession. He says, I have this obsession with no green screens, to which I say, yes, thank you, sir. Please keep it that way. Why not? Nope, that's not it. Boop. All right, never mind. That's not working. All right. I gotta figure that. I gotta fix that thing. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Did you guys see this right here? Apparently, when it came to The Empire Strikes Back, what the heck? That's not what I wanted. No, I had it on the wrong screen. Just turn that off. Jesus. Wrong screen. Anyways, did you guys see this? They apparently put Darth Vader on the Empire State Building right there. So that's pretty cool. It's cool that they could just do something like that and just kind of project something out like that. It's pretty sweet. Not too shabby. Speaking of Fear Jason, look at that. Look at that art right there from Fear Jason. Zack Snyder art. Or is that you that did that? It's an art. Yeah, art. Favorite art. Let's see what else we got here. We got Alex Ross posting this what if, of course, of Christopher Reeve, Kingdom Come Superman. That's pretty sweet. We got Batman and Wonder Woman looking over London right here. Apparently they put some new statues. So you have Batman standing right there over the ledge, and then you got Wonder Woman leaping out of the wall right here. Pretty awesome. I like it. And keep going. Oh, yeah, and any Dodger fans out there, how we doing about this whole Ohtani thing? I thought this was funny, because if you know the story about the whole Ohtani thing that's happening right now, and the gambling stuff, it was just kind of funny. This picture right here, Ohtani bets, it was funny. But, you know, that's for the Dodger fans out there. Oh, man, if I had a drink right now, I'd raise it up right now, too, because another thing that happened, well, a thing that happened 2 years ago, which was a difficult thing for me, because favorite drummer to my favorite band right here, and I totally forgot that it happened on the day that Batman vs. Superman came out, because I remember 2 years ago, you could actually go back. You can go back 2 years ago to the Vodka stream, where the whole Vodka stream was going to be dedicated on talking about, 6 years of Batman vs. Superman. And right as like 10 minutes in, and I think it was Aaron and Ray showed up, I got the news in the chat that Taylor Hawkins, of the Foo Fighters, passed away, that he died. And I mean, that it hit. This one hit hard. Because, again, my favorite band, my favorite drummer. So for the rest of the stream, I just kept playing like clips of him drumming and everything like that. And then I ended the stream after an hour, because I just was not feeling it. But yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, it was on the 25th, 2 years ago. It's crazy, just absolutely crazy. So, and then of course we got Mr. Junkee XL celebrating, of course, as well. And then even we got right here, we got Reeves Effects showing some cool little, like, hey, there's everybody standing there in their costumes. Pretty sweet. Like that. Hey, what's going on with Diddy, huh? P. Diddy on the run? I think so. Sounds like he is. Oh boy. That's right. Did you guys see that the feds raided Diddy's LA mansion? Because, all the stuff that's been coming out with sex trafficking and all that, and they took people in, and apparently Diddy, he's like in his private plane booking it out of the freaking country. That's right. He is out of here, apparently. But yikes. P. Diddy in some trouble right now, which is kind of funny. It's funny because I never liked P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever the hell whatever. I never got into his music. It just seemed like all he did was just sample other music and then just make it his own, which I guess there's a talent in there, and he's a producer and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just never thought he was anything special. I just never thought that. But apparently, he was at one point, or, he's got to that certain point, which I think there's some interesting things when it comes to that. You could go down a conspiracy rabbit hole when it comes to all the stuff when it comes to Diddy and everything like that. And recently, there's just been a lot of things that have come about. And then after Cat Williams straight out talked about P. Diddy Combs, on Shannon Sharp's podcast, kind of like was already kind of bringing to light that shit was going to be exposed in 2024. And he did name drop P. Diddy. That's funny. I'm just saying, Whew. Crazy. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. He's a pretty powerful dude, right? Pretty powerful dude. But, there's with the Quiet on the Set docu-series. I don't know if you guys watched that. That's on Max now. I watched that over the weekend, The Quiet on the Set. I mean, hopefully, yes. A lot of the evil that is within the entertainment industry hopefully can be exposed and put out there, and people who are, severely damaged can get the help. It's sad. It was sad watching that. It was gross. There was times where I was like, God, You know, I feel bad for Drake Bell, and I know he's had his issues too, and he's even had his trouble when it came to the law as well, which, you know, you look at the abuse that he suffered. Amanda Bynes, you know, I mean, she wasn't in the docuseries, but she got effed up from that. Look at her now. I mean, she went from, I mean, when you see how she was a bright, shining star and was just rising up through this whole thing. Now you see her now, it's not even the same person. You would think that it's not even the same person. It's insane. It's insane. But, you know, hopefully a lot of this stuff can be exposed now, you know, and it's all over the place. It's not, you know, it's in Hollywood. It's in, you know, Hollywood when it comes to children entertainment, which is even more sick. And then, of course, the music industry, too. It's all just, hopefully, all gets exposed. But hey, look at this. It is finally happening. Didn't think it was, I mean, I think a lot of us just thought, man, is this sequel ever going to get made? But apparently, yes, it is happening right now. Currently, The Accountant 2 has begun filming. I don't think it needed another one, but hey, it's fine. And then this is pretty cool right here. Love this art. This art is freaking badass. Again, you know how much I'm a sucker for art, but I love the way that the texture of the costume looks really cool right here. And Corn Sweat, the way that he's drawn, everything is very detailed. And of course, ripping of the shirt, it just looks really cool. You got the curl and everything. This is from Garnabiel. Very excellent art right there. I mean, of course, we're not going to get the costume for a little bit, so I always love to showcase art from people that are just making really cool stuff right here. And this, it's just a really cool drawing. And I'm really, really digging the emblem more and more every time I see it in some art. So it's just pretty sweet. Pretty sweet looking. Pretty sweet looking, yeah. So there you go. There's some tweets. Actually, I got a couple more tweets right here. But let me see what you guys are talking about. Oh, yeah, Justin Bieber, he got screwed up. He got screwed up, too. Cat Williams did say the truth will be revealed. I know, that's the thing. It's just funny. Like, Cat Williams called this shit, which is great. But yeah, Justin Bieber got screwed up too. A lot of people. I mean, it's funny because I wonder if Leonardo DiCaprio would ever say anything. Because Leonardo DiCaprio was talked about in that one guy, I forgot, Michael Peck or whatever Peck, who was the one that was molesting Drake Bell. He also handled Leonardo DiCaprio when he was a kid. So, and I've heard that Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah, he went through the ringer too when it came to growing up in Hollywood, which probably makes sense now when you see that, you know, as he doesn't stay in relationships long and he keeps the relationships under 25, can't settle down. I mean, that's probably part of it. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? But Leo is probably a little screwed up too. I mean, there's a lot of people that are probably screwed up. Drew Barrymore probably went through. She went through the ringer too. Child actors, man. I tell you, it's just when it comes to that docuseries. I mean, one of the things too is like what sucks about it, and even Drake Bell when he was being interviewed, you know, he had trouble like answering the question kind of thing, but it was towards the end. By basically, it's like he was living his dream, but also living through a nightmare. That's what was like shitty about it, is the fact that his dream was to be on stage. He was an entertainer. He was born to be an entertainer. He's a talented kid, and he was living his dream, the dream that he wanted to live, and had big time great experiences, but also was going through a fucking one of the worst nightmares. So it's like, just think about that. That's just like, it's like, oh, you love this right here, but you're also going through this right here. It's like, man, that's a struggle right there. That's a struggle. I mean, that's why he was having trouble, like, answering that question, because it's like, would you want to actually, now that you're older, would you want to go into the business as a kid? But he's like, it's hard for him to answer that, because it's like he was living his dream. There were so many good things and good times and stuff like that. But at the same time, there was nightmare things happening too. It's just like, didn't Drew Barrymore say she started drinking? Oh yeah, Drew Barrymore. She became a wild child and all that stuff when she was very young. because she was going through the ringer. I mean, that's the thing, man. It's just gross, man. Diddy fled to the Caribbean. Oh yeah, he has his own little Epstein Island. That's going to be interesting to see how that played out. Good, fuck him. And I, like I said, I always thought he was overrated and didn't think he was anything. When I saw him in interviews, he sounded like an ignorant idiot. I mean, it seemed like he was like the DJ Khaled before DJ Khaled became a thing. DJ Khaled's worse, but yeah. Sequel to 51st Dates. I know, right? I know Adam Sandler should just start making sequels to, next to a Billy Madison sequel, do a 51st Dates sequel. Why not? That's going on. Ted, actually, there was a couple more things before we get into the topics. Well, I guess this scoop, rumor, or whatever the hell is true, and I'm kind of curious to see what happens when it comes to it, when it comes to Jurassic World 4, Jurassic Park, whatever the hell they're going to call it. Scarlett Johansson in talks to lead new Jurassic World movie. Okay, ScarJo might lead the new movie. All right. Does she need to? Not really. She's Scarlett Johansson. She should just do whatever she wants. Get away from blockbusters. Start doing some more indie stuff. I don't know. Do you need to jump into this franchise? Apparently, they offered it to Jennifer Lawrence at first. She turned it down. That's just what I read. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's what I was seeing in the digital streets out there, was that Jennifer Lawrence first turned it down, and now they offered it to Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if she actually needs it. Who knows? I don't know. Like I said, another movie I watched over the weekend was Under the Skin. Have you watched Under the Skin? You should watch Under the Skin. A24 movie. She plays an alien. Very creepy, weird, artsy type of movie where she lures dudes in to basically send them through a weird portal thing where, yeah, it's very weird, but she is very, very naked, which is a plus. Yes, full frontal, full backle. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, but the movie itself is pretty damn cool. Do more stuff like that, ScarJo. You need to join this, unless she wants to, in the good script, good pay, Gareth Edwards, I don't know. We'll see. But that was floating around, because it was actually, it was a rumor at first, and now it's apparently true. And then we got this, guys. We always love to see this man run, and he's running with longer hair and blood on his shirt. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 8. There he goes. Run! 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 He's running. Something happened. Did he kill somebody? Who knows? Shirt's undone. But I mean, I don't know. Why do we love watching Tom Cruise run? He's just such a good runner. There's just something about him running that we just all enjoy. But yes, this set video was floating around. Of course, they're shooting Mission Impossible 8. And naturally, it's going to have some awesome Tom Cruise running sequences right there. Dude's 60 years old. Hasn't really lost a step, has he? Hasn't really lost a step. 60 years old, potentially. Still going. I just wonder if those joints starting to get a little achy now? Are they starting? He probably uses his Scientology wizardy to zap his joints or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? But all right, so there you go. That's all the tweets. Jurassic Universe, is that what they're going to call it? would you even call Jurassic? I don't know what they're actually going to call it. Who knows what they're going to call it? As someone who is black and actually aware of black culture, saying Diddy was nothing is not track at all. You don't become a... Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. I totally get that. And, I don't know. I just always thought he was overrated and stuff like that. So, no, I get that. I'm not saying that he was obviously he produced a lot of stuff and everything, but I always thought he was just overrated, But I get it. Totally get it. So... But apparently, while he was doing that, he might have been doing some really sick shit too. So that's what sucks. Anyways. But he did rip off a lot of things. He did rip off a lot of, and they're calling him the Diddler now. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oy. Do you like Diddy Kong? All right, let's talk about, all right. Batman vs. Superman. I can't believe that it's been 8 years, and here we are. I still remember going to see this movie in the theaters and all the build-up towards it, all the trailers. And I remember that last trailer kind of giving, a lot of people were, kind of gave a little bit too much away. But, I mean, the build-up for this movie was just crazy. And like I said, I remember just covering the movie like crazy, behind the scenes, any kind of rumors. I was posting videos like crazy and just trying to cover every little bit of this movie because I was so excited for it. I remember going to the movie theater with two of my friends and just being so excited for it. It was electrifying. It was all, and it was just, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, little did we know that there was a better version out there. Sure, there's a better version. Absolutely. But it is kind of funny how even to this day, 8 years later, how relevant it is to the genre, regardless of how you feel about it. Because there are people that absolutely hate this movie with every fiber of their goddamn body. They just hate it. They hate it. They hate everything about it. And then you got people who are just so obsessed with it, just obsessed. You got the extremes on both sides so much. And then you got just us where I'm just like, yeah, I love the movie. I love the movie. It's in my top 5. Sorry, it is. It's in my top 5. Like, somebody actually asked me, like, what's your favorite Batman movie? It's hard to determine that because sometimes I'm like, Dark Knight, Batman 89, or BVS. You got 3 different directors, 3 different styles, 3 different Batmen. And those are always like kind of like a rotating thing of like favorites right there. But yeah, it is kind of funny how it is still relevant to this day because, who the fuck remembers Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second one, or Thor Dark World? I almost said Love and Thunder, but who even talks about that anymore? People still talk about BVS and the discourse. Yes, of course, there's discourse out there because look what happened recently with Snyder on Rogan and then, of course, talking about the whole Batman killing thing. And that whole discourse it got bigger again. But it's just like kind of funny how 8 years later that is still happening. And it's still going to continue to happen. There's still always going to be this debate with this movie, which to me, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Now, people aren't talking about Civil War like this, okay? Remember, those two were like those two movies were going up against each other. Now, Civil War, yes, was more well received, made more money, but at the same time, nobody really talks about Civil War that much anymore. Not like they talk about BVS, no matter how it is, good or bad. Still a topic of conversation when it comes to the superhero genre. So that's what's kind of cool about it. And like I said, regardless of how you feel about it, that's just the way it is. Just the way it is because and I think it's always going to be like that too. And I think that's a good thing. And like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, it's like Warner Brothers decided to do a course correction and made things worse while doing that after the reception of BVS. When all they should have did was just release the Ultimate Edition right from the start because it probably would have got way more well received. And then now we got Warner Brothers that is finally like looking like they're on the right path, sure. And then we got Disney over here, which of course they were always like top dog, and now they are looking for like, what do we got to do a course correction, which we'll talk about. But it's just pretty cool that's the case. And then of course, naturally, no matter what, I mean, when it comes to BVS, you're never. I just don't know if there's ever going to be an entrance like this ever again. I mean, come on. You can't. I mean, that's the best entrance ever. Ever. It's just so good. Oh, man. I remember the night watching BVS, the theatrical, of course, when that scene came about, the whole fucking theater lit up. Just absolutely lit up. Everybody cheered. It's magical. Absolutely magical. And even like when I saw BVS at Full Circle last year on the big screen. I mean, naturally, you're watching it with a bunch of fans. Of course, the whole theater lit up right there, too. And then, of course, you have the Batman warehouse scene, which, of course, that's always there's discourse right there. But even though people, I've noticed this, too, like, when people talk about the warehouse scene, the Batman warehouse scene, like, even if they didn't fully like the movie, they did like how Batman looked right there, even though, yes, he was not caring about if he was actually killing people, of course, but of course, if it fits the story, fits the narrative, but they enjoyed, like, people will still say that the warehouse scene is like the best Batman action sequence, I guess you could say, when he's taking on a bunch of bad guys. But, it's not like he's calculating exactly what he wants to do. And then, of course, we have Zack right here. In true Zack Snyder fashion. Me on the set of BVS. That is a great picture right there. It fits. That fits right there. That's Zack Snyder to a T. Just going like, yep, I'm gonna burn this genre up and change it. 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, they essentially started filming it like a decade ago, right? 10 years ago. But you gotta love Zack putting something out there like that. It's just freaking awesome right there. But a little did we know that it was like, again, we're still going to be talking about it to this day, and people are going to be talking about it, and people are still going to be having debates. That's what I love. That's what I love about it, because, like I said, people still talk about The Dark Knight because everybody tries to compare everything to it. Because, yes, it is the gold standard. It's a fantastic movie, but everybody talks about The Dark Knight, just like a lot of people talk about Batman '89. It just seems like those three Batman movies are still discussed when it comes to the superhero genre because they're so vastly different and they just have unique takes, three unique directors, three, unique stories, I guess you could say. Batman '89 helped, I guess you say, the superhero genre, of course, get to the point where it's at right now. And The Dark Knight, same thing, did that. And then Batman vs Superman just changed it, tweaked it, sent it down like this other way where now you have these superhero movies that do that deconstruction of the characters. You have stuff like The Boys and Invincible. You have superhero stories like that I think, that I think Zack definitely inspired. Well, somewhat. Or at least when it comes to adapting them into, live action. There's definitely some Zack Snyder inspiration right there, which The Boys have totally leaned into. So, anyways, if I had a drink, I'd say cheers. Cheers to BVS. And we'll be talking about it forever. She saved Batfleck. Oh, yeah, the Full Circle event. That was funny, yeah. Batfleck lowered his hands, saw Diana, and then turned on like, yeah. Probably the fastest we've ever seen Batman in combat, yeah. Batman was like Mike Tyson. Nice. Michael Bay, eat your heart out. I love the first Bay. Okay, you guys talking about Bay movies. Yeah, cool. All right. Let's go ahead and now let's jump into some current DC stuff. We got some rumors, baby. We got some DCU rumors. One of them involving, of course, the Batman, which I was like, oh, okay, because everybody's kind of wondering. We're anxiously waiting, and of course, you got to take this with a grain of salt, naturally, because Matt Reeves has been fairly quiet. He hasn't even mentioned that the fact is like, hey, yeah, that's right, the Batman Part 2 got delayed a year. He did, of course, tweet out the Penguin trailer, which that trailer was amazing, and that looks like it's just going to be a great show, and apparently it's going to be dark and pretty twisted. We'll actually watch a video when it comes to Colin Farrell in a little bit talking about the Penguin, but yeah, there's a rumor when it comes to Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, and this has to do with Harvey Dent. And an possible actor who is going to be playing Harvey Dent. I always said that, let's see, is that it right there? Click that out. Come on. I always said if they're going to be following, if Matt Reeves is going to be following Long Halloween and all that stuff, of course you're going to have a Harvey Dent. Now, some people might be like, we've already seen Two-Face and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but Harvey Dent needs to be in this world. Doesn't mean he's going to turn into Two-Face in this movie. We just need a Harvey Dent. And then if part 3 ends up happening, which hopefully, like I said, he's writing part 2 and 3, is then we get the transformation to Two-Face when it comes to Harvey Dent. Boyd Holbrook. He was in Logan. He was in, he was in that Predator movie, too, that I mentioned earlier. That was not good. Been in a lot of things. You recognize him. But off the top of my head, I'm thinking like Logan, of course. But they're saying that he's also in Narcos, that he actually might be at the top of the list to play Harvey Dent. I like that choice. I'm actually okay with that choice. I think he would actually be a really good Harvey Dent, to be honest. He's got that, I think he's got that DA in him, that he had Harvey Dent in him. Be very forward, little sarcasm, little something like that. I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. Let me know. But I think that's actually a pretty good choice. And then, let's see, where was that screenshot? All right. And then we had Corey Hawkins, which he was in Straight Outta Compton. He played Dr. Dre. I'm trying to remember other things. He was in that vampire movie that came out last year. He was also in King Kong, the Kong Skull Island. He was also in there. They were saying that he was actually going to be showing up in what was it right here? Oh yeah, there we go. So the rumor was actually new cast members have been listed on IMDb for Waller, including a stunt double for Sebastian Faust, the son of Felix Faust from Checkmate, and stunt double for the actor Corey Hawkins. So seemed like, okay, so is he going to be in it? But somebody did bring it up to James Gunn, and James Gunn said scripts are unfinished, haven't started the casting process. So no. Debunked. That's good. Like I said, just debunked. Let's see, where's it at? There you go. Debunked. Which is good. Like I said, this is what I like. I like it when James Gunn does that. Does he have to answer every little question? No. God, this thing is so... Ugh.
Exclusive!
I didn't mean to do that, but that was fun. Like I said, this thing is just acting dumb. There we go. Jeez, that's what I want to get back to the homepage on that thing. So, all right, so that rumor's not. So that was like really the only two rumors when it came to things that I was seeing like in the past couple of days. And James Gunn also has said that all roles in Atlanta have been filled. I think all speaking roles in the film have now been filled, actually, because somebody was asking, while filming in Atlanta, will there be additional roles, opportunities for local talent? And if so, would they be listed on the breakdown of services and blah, blah, blah. So he had that. And then, of course, this was kind of funny, too, because James Gunn, when it came to the Penguin, and he didn't post the trailer right away, so the next day he posted the trailer because he had been shooting all day, and he posted like the same caption for all different social media, and it was just so funny because, you know what, I get it. He's trying to sell, he's selling the whole DC Studios thing right now because, you know, DCU Updates said, have you gotten to see it? And he said, of course, it's a DC Studio show. It's a DC Studio show. And he talked about how, oh my God, turn that off. Turn that off. There we go. It was just kind of funny because you kept on mentioning DC Studio show, DC Studio show. It's like, okay, we get it, James. We get it. It's a DC Studio show. You got to put it out there. You got to sell the product. I get it. So, but it was just kind of funny because it almost seemed like a bot wrote out like the tweet and the trends and the Instagram, and it was like the same thing. It was like DC Studio show. Of course, it's a DC Studio show. DC Studios. It's like, okay, but I mean that's what they need, right? They have to he's got to sell the product. Got to sell the product. So that's fine. But Colin Farrell though, let's go to Colin Farrell talking about the Penguin. because I like what he had to say. That's not it. There we go. All right, so let's see. He had an interview with somebody, and here it is right here. This is from I don't know what it's actually called. He was promoting, of course, Sugar on Apple Plus right here, but this is what he had to say when asked about, of course, the Penguin.
As I said, I really love this show. I'm also really looking forward to the first season of that show coming out.
I have that.
Exactly. I heard that you wrapped filming on that, so I'm really looking forward to that. Is there anything you can say about this guy?
We wrapped him, did it, stuck a fork in it 2 weeks ago. And it was a long and really wonderful experience. And it's dark. That's what I can tell you about it. It's really dark and really heavy, I think. Certainly while I was doing it, which is not to say I didn't have fun. I had an amazing time. But it's incredibly violent. Yeah, it's one man's rise to what he's always dreamed of inhabiting, which is a certain power or social status. And the death of Carmine Falcone at the end of the film leaves this vacuum in Gotham to be filled, and so there are various people that are grabbing for that power, and this is Oswald's journey trying to rise to the top through extraordinary obstacles, and it's super dark. Lauren LaFranc wrote a really twisted television.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, so I just have to...
All right, so there you go. Twisted! Love hearing that. Also love hearing him talk. When you hear his actual accent, it's a good accent. But I just wonder why his watch is so loose. Anyways, that's just a little... I was like, he must have just got that watch. It's all loose on him. Got to get that thing adjusted there, Colin. But no, I like what he has to say right there. Dark, twisted, very violent. It's definitely, it sounds like it's just going to be like, it's going to be R-rated, like TV mature, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be dropping F-bombs or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like they might be pushing the boundary when it comes to the Penguin series. But... yeah, that's what Colin Farrell has to say about that, and then everything's looking good. Remember, it's a DC studio show. Sorry. I don't know. I just, hey, I got to make fun of Jimmy Guns every now and again, right? Nothing wrong with that. Box office. All right, let's talk about the box office. Obviously, we had Ghostbusters Frozen Empire that came out over the weekend. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I saw it, of course. You guys saw that I went to I thought about seeing it again, to be honest, because why not? Oh, is Box Office Mojo? Okay, there you go. It is working. But yeah, obviously it was going to be the big moneymaker of the weekend, and it did well. It actually did better than Afterlife, but of course Afterlife came out during all the madness that was, happening in the last few years. But, it's good. You love to see that it actually, it didn't like floppity flop. $45.2 million. That's right. And the whole total right here was 61.6. Apparently it had like $100 million budget. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's not a bad start. Obviously, I think a lot of us who are rooting for the movie and the franchise would like to see like a heftier start, especially when you have Dan Aykroyd and the director talking about ideas, and even Jason Reitman. I can't remember what the director's name is, but Jason Reitman only produced this one. They're already talking about ideas for a next one, and I'm like, yeah, I still want to see more because I'm that. And then, of course, we have Dune Part 2 right here. And again, these are small drops, 38.2 from last weekend to this weekend. Hey, same with Kung Fu Panda, under 50%. You love to see it. You love to see that. It currently sits at $575.5 million worldwide. And then, of course, Immaculate came out, which had Sydney Sweeney, 5.5. And a fine home video. And then, of course, Late Night with the Devil, which I definitely want to see, made $2.8 million. I want to see that one. All the trailers and the clips look like that's right up my alley. Of course, people are giving it shit because they use like some kind of AI in there for like a brief amount of time before like people started freaking out about AI. So they wanted to like boycott the movie because people are insane now. It's like, it's just crazy. But what's interesting though is the fact that there's something that happened over the weekend when it came to Ghostbusters and Dune. That's right. Something pretty damn significant. Milestones were reached when it came to Dune and Ghostbusters. They are both now billion-dollar franchises. Yes! Oh, hit that one. Cool. Hey, it's something. I mean, all together, obviously, all together. So adding up all the, all the movies and everything, I'm pretty sure they're including the Dune in 1980, the David Lynch one. They're including all of it. So now both Ghostbusters and Dune are now billion-dollar franchises. And I just thought, oh, that's a pretty cool little thing to mention because I enjoy both and I want to see more of both. And hopefully people keep flocking to the movie theater. It just seems like Dune Part 2 has just got a little bit, it's got some legs. We'll see if Frozen Empire has some legs. Like I said, second weekend drop. See what that is. But it just seems like nowadays the second weekend drops are actually under 50%, which you don't see that. You only see that in Disney and Marvel movies. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. That's actually very true. Well, I guess you could say, and DC movies also. Yeah, it seems like the superhero genre is just, suffering a little bit from those drops. But hey, what can you do? Some people just want to see different shit now. But speaking of Disney, oh boy, we got this new article that just came out that some people were talking about. And it had to do somebody who I guess invests their time or money and whatever when it comes to, it's an interesting title to the article right here. And, Disney is just kind of, they're trying to find their way again. They're really trying to find their way. And it seems like they'll have some wins when it comes to future projects, of course, but all the crap that they put out there in the past few years when it came to the pandemic, it all didn't work out. And then, of course, I hate the word woke now because it's overly used so much. I get tired of it. But I can also see what people are talking about when they do try to cram things in our faces like, hey, look at this, look at that. I mean, I could go back to when the first Black Panther came out. And I remember seeing headlines that said Black Panther is the most diverse superhero movie or something like that. They called Black Panther diverse. And then you had a quote from Kevin Feige that said 90% of the cast is black. And I went, okay, that's not diverse. That's not diverse, but that's okay. Okay? That's not diverse. Just because you have a lack of white people doesn't make it diverse. It's just, okay, it's right here, which is okay. We all accept that. It's Wakanda. It's fine. It was just kind of funny. And I think I even made a video about that. It's like, yeah, when that came out, it's like, yeah, don't change the meaning of the word when it's not quite there. When 90% of the cast is this, and that's not diverse, but it's okay because it's Black Panther. So we got this article right here. Disney board foe Nelson Peltz questions woke Marvel films. All right, so mainly just talking about that. Why do I have to have a Marvel movie with all women? Why do I need an all-black cast? Well, to be I don't want to be a stickler here there, Nelson, but I mean, it was only 90%. In Wakanda, there was other mix of people, especially when it came to Wakanda Forever. But when it came to the Marvels, it wasn't just an all-female cast. There was some Sam Jackson in there too. So, it's not completely like this. I mean, this guy is 81 years old. So he's like, back in my day. Anyways, let's see who has admitted. He's admitted that never claimed to have experience in the media business, made the comments about the Marvels and Black Panther in recent interview with Financial Times. Why do I have to have him, of course, reading all that again? Black Panther does not have an all-black cast, nor does the Marvels. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was kind of getting at right there. But it was just kind of funny when it was being called out when it came to all this. Disney has framed the proxy vote campaign by Peltz Tran Partners as driven by a long-standing personal agenda harbored by former Marvel Entertainment chairman Ike Perlmutter against Iger. Trian controls roughly $3.5 billion worth of Disney stock, 78% of which is owned by Perlmutter. Last year, Disney terminated Perlmutter's employment as Marvel chairman. Perlmutter famously fought Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige over making Black Panther and Captain Marvel on the belief that movies with black or women lead characters would not be commercially successful. Yeesh. So a lot of drama going right there. And like I said, my whole thing is like, no, those movies should exist. I mean, they're still like, I didn't like the Marvels or even Captain Marvel. Fine. But it exists. Sure. But if you're, I think what everybody always said, it's just like when it came to Ghostbusters 2016, it was just like, okay, you're doing like this whole thing where it's like female cast. It's like, no, can we have a mix? And you're shoving it in my face like, if I don't watch this, then you're going to call me some kind of something. You're going to call me some kind of name or something like that. I don't know. It's just what Disney needs to do is just like not lean so heavily in that. Still have the diversity and inclusion 100%, but don't lean so heavily into it like you have and putting it out there. And then as soon as that thing is not successful, just blame, it's because of dudes. It's because of white dudes or something like that. Don't do that stuff. Just make your shit, but don't shove it in everybody's faces. That's what they need. I don't know. That's what they need to do. Hold on one sec. They'll probably find the balance. Hopefully they find the balance to the Force. I think they will. But I do like how in the article it said like, yeah, well, the entire cast wasn't this. The entire cast wasn't that, you know? It's like, you know, you're doing a little bit of hyperbole there, Nelson. But, yeah. Funny. All right, how are we feeling out there? People don't actually understand what woke means. I know it's just a stupid thing. I mean, again, we're all constantly changing like these definitions of all this stuff. It seems like, you know. Let's see, Perlmutter. Fortunately, Perlmutter is not part of the board directors campaign. He's just pledging. Oh, okay, he's just that. I don't mind diversity, but when they want to wink at the audience, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Stephanie. That's the problem I have, is when it's just for that sake and they want to just get a pat on the back from the crowd. It doesn't feel authentic. For decades, there's been diversity in movies, and it's gotten better and better. But like before, it just seemed like it was natural. It just happened, and you accepted it. And nobody batted an eye, you know? When it was happening in the 90s and early 2000s. Like everybody was just like, okay, we're going to see this movie. Nobody cared what the lead looked like or anything like that. How many, what was the cast balance like? Nobody cared. It seemed like, until like it got to the 2010s, and then all of a sudden people just started going crazy, and then these studios started being like, oh well, we got to like punch it up a little bit, Just yeah, ugh. It doesn't feel authentic because they're pandering. Yeah, exactly. You don't like when you could sense the pandering. That's where you're going to lose people. You're going to lose people. There's a way to do it without feeling pandery. All right. Let's go ahead and get to some Twitter questions. Eric, Dave, you're bringing up the Predator franchise. Got me thinking, unless I missed something, Arnold's character Dutch never appeared again after the first movie. I get it. Don't just rely on Arnold, but in universe, why wouldn't Dutch be brought in for insight with his XP. Well, that's kind of funny because there was apparently concepts and the idea for the last Predator movie to have Arnold show back up as Dutch. There was the idea, but I guess they threw that out, or Arnold didn't want to do it. I don't exactly remember what was going on when it came to that, but they had that idea. And I remember it was like, because at the end of The Predator, there was like that big, huge ultra predator dude, and I don't know, there was going to be something that had to do with that. I don't know. They had the idea, and apparently there was like some concepts out there. Devon Wooter, I just watched Team America. Do you have a favorite scene for memes when Gary vomited? I laughed so hard. Yeah, but it's so over the top, I start gagging myself. Ugh. And did you watch X-Men 97? I haven't watched it yet. I have to redo my Disney Plus account because I canceled it a couple months ago. Zack Snyder call and the Zack Snyder cult just make up beef. What? Between James Gunn and the new Superman. Yeah, I don't like to use cult. Everybody likes to use cult. I think cult is another word that's used way too much. People call it, there's James Gunn cult. There's a Zack Snyder cult. I don't even like to use the word cult, even though there are people in both sides that very much act like it is a cult. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question number 1. Do you see more studios eventually being equally as exposed as Nickelodeon for what happened behind the scenes with Dan Schneider? I hope so. Because Dan Schneider is still like, I deny everything. And he's still, he hasn't answered to any of the stuff that he did. Question number 2. If Vulture shows up in Venom 3 and Kraven in post-credit scenes to recruit him, what will your reaction be? I don't think that's going to happen, but I would think it's pretty cool, I guess. Mr. Nobody, Dave, question 1. After watching Zack Snyder at the shooting range, shooting John Wick style, can you imagine Zack directing a film or miniseries similar to John Wick, but in a Zack Snyder style? Well, that's what Rebel Moon is looking like, especially Rebel Moon 2. It seems like there's a lot of, of course it's not, it's future guns, but I think he's kind of doing that a little bit. Question 2, do you think Zack can direct with less CGI and more practical effects? I absolutely think he can. I think eventually he's going to want to. Not sure about you, but I'm not loving the glossy CGI aesthetic that's been heavily used in Marvel and modern TV shows. I prefer a more crisp and sharp image opposed to dull, and that's just me. How about you? I get it. Sometimes it can get annoying. Sometimes it can get annoying. But I think eventually, Zack, I wouldn't be surprised if his next movie is just going to be something a little more simpler. I don't know if it'd be Horse Latitudes, maybe. I know that's always been up there too, so. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But looking forward to seeing the action in Rebel Moon 2. And hopefully we could talk to Zack pretty soon. Disney Channel has secrets as well. Oh, yeah, there's so many. And I just wish people would just come out and start exposing these motherfuckers. I'm not a man, baby, so diversity or seeing different stories being told doesn't hurt me or my manhood. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it either. It's just always when it's when you can tell that they're pandering. That's where it just sounds, ugh, that's all. And I think people catch wind of that. People, even if the story is that particular person's race, they see that stuff too. They see it. So, I don't know. It's just, it's like they don't need to reel it in, but they just need to just let the storytellers tell the freaking stories and stop trying to pander and change things. And that's what these studios end up doing. Way too much. Way too much. Anyways, okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's tonight's show. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry I was late again and it went on a little late. But obviously I won't see you guys tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another Film Junkie Live. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like, thumbs up, share it, comment, do everything. And if you want to support the channel, we got the Patreon, we got the membership, do a members only stream after every Wednesday stream. So if you want to be part of that, please do, and follow me on all the sock meds that are around me and everything. And hopefully you guys had a good time talking some movies and everything, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Talk to you later.